Hi, Janet Hudson here to share with you some fun summer childhood memories. And the point of this activity, remember, is just to have fun with someone else, sharing these stories. So here we go. I'm just going to read the question and give you my answer. So, what do you remember doing as a child in the summer that was fun? So many things. But the thing I wanted to share was I remember swimming in the lake. And that seems unusual because I know people today who think the lake is so dirty, and we rarely swim in pools. So for us, the lake felt fun and the pools felt confining, and we noticed all the chemicals and really didn't like that. So I remember swimming in the lake. What do you remember eating that felt summer special? Well, certainly watermelon and strawberries. And my family had a garden, which of course we had to work in. That's a whole nother story. But every night we would have vegetables from our garden. And I did appreciate those as a kid. We had okra and corn and cucumbers and tomatoes and cantaloupe. And those were great summer things because we didn't have them other times of the year. What was part of summer that was more, who was part of summer more than at other times? Certainly my neighbors. We played together throughout the summer. We saw them in the rest of the year, but not nearly as much. So we were together all the time during the summer. And my mother had a sister who was an aunt that I was close to, and she would invite us to come to her house to spend the night for a week, and that felt like such an adventure. Again, to see how she was a little bit more loose than my mom, so we could have fun and do things there and stay up and talk. And her two children, my two cousins, were deaf. And so that's how I learned to sign, because she would teach me, and I have tons of time to practice spending with them. And that was a great experience to be able to almost become fluent with my signing in the summer because of that opportunity. What activities felt unique to summer and you remember them fondly? Picking wild blackberries. That was so much fun. Of course, you had to navigate through the briars, and one of the negative downsides was you would always leave home with jiggers. They would itch you to death, and so to treat them, we would get out our clear fingernail polish and paint over them to suffocate them. Now, who knows if that was wise, but that's what we did. And of course, we would catch June bugs. I hate to say what we did, but we would wrap a string around their leg, and then they would swirl around, and then we would catch what we called lightning bugs, but they were fireflies. Oh, that was so much fun. Catching those, putting them in a jar, and then watching them go. So much fun. Any special fun memories from your childhood wardrobe in the summer? Well, this isn't exactly wardrobe, but we ditched shoes in the summer and went barefoot. Now, the first few weeks were a little tough because we would, your feet were tender and you walked around and felt a little uncomfortable. But it's amazing how quickly we would get those calluses, and before long we could run on any terrain in the summer. Recall at least one summer trip from that era that makes you laugh when you recall it. Well, when I was a kid, it felt like every summer, but for 4 years, I would spend 2 weeks at Camp Okanichi, which is a Girl Scout camp. I loved everything about that. It was a wonderful experience. Well, what makes me laugh today is recalling the first year I went, going to breakfast, and I saw that a lot of the girls would eat their toast flat open with butter and jelly on it. And that struck me as very weird, because at my house, we folded the bread and ate it like a sandwich. Then I discovered, most people eat their toast open. And the realization was, wow, something could be normal to you, but it was done very different elsewhere. And in fact, what was normal to you might seem odd to other people. And that insight really struck me. It stayed with me that, wow, your experiences truly are limited, and you have to get out in the world to figure that out. What about your childhood summer is no longer part of your world? Less because you grew up and more because the world changed. That's simple because I grew up without air conditioning. And I lived in the South and still do, and today that's almost unthinkable. And I used to sort of tell all these war stories to my kids when they were growing up, but I realized how much either having air conditioning or not having it really shapes your behavior, shapes your whole attitude about the heat. But for us, we would spend the mornings indoors, but as soon as it started getting warm, we would head outside and we would stay outside the rest of the day. We had to come in for dinner, but we would go right back outside afterwards. And that taught us so much. One, we had to come up with a lot of different things to do, and we did. And we learned the nuances of being outside. We sort of did things in the shade, calmer things in the hottest part of the day. And we would save our vigorous fun for the cooler parts, especially in the late morning and the early evening. And one of the fun activities I really remember was after dinner, as it would move toward dusk and into dark, we would play hide and go seek. And we tried to push the boundaries until our parents would call us. And oftentimes the game ended with somebody being mad because we had to go home before the game could end. But that was so much fun as a kid. No air conditioning, but it was normal for us. So that's my stories. I hope you will do this. Ask these questions, a few of them, to different people, and just listen to other people's story and share yours and smile. Thank you. Have a great day. See you next time.